statutes and commandments, he would allow us to go into slavery by the hands of some people that we didn't know their language. And when we were brought over to their place in slavery, they would take our heritage from us, our culture from us, our name from us, our language from us, right? And when you read Psalms 83, it literally lists the white man, the Arabian man, the African man, the Chinese man, the Japanese man. It literally lists them in the Bible as our enemies that came together and said, let's stop the blacks and Latinos, Native Americans from knowing that they are one people. It's in the Bible. But our people wouldn't know that because they don't read the Bible. Why? Because the white man and how he took this book and misused it against us, he made us hate the book that give us the truth.
You know why they doing that though? What do you think? Why is the reason why they doing that?
I'm gonna show you.
Because we like the only race that can wipe out their race. You know what I'm saying?
We the only race that got a God.
Yeah,
I'm gonna show you why.
It's the book of Psalms chapter 83 and verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Now, a tumult is when a group of people get together and they kind of whispering. Just, you can barely make out what they're saying, but you know when niggas plotting.
That's them.
Right? You see them niggas over there steady looking and they on something.
That's what they did to us. They plot, strategize. Okay, let's put these weed and coke in the neighborhood. Trick they man and do this.
Exactly.
You know, we stressed out.
But we're reading in the Bible. You know this already. But you didn't know it was in the Bible. You're literally, what you know already and what you just said out of your mouth, we finna read it in the Bible.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Cut them off from being a nation. That's why if I ask the Chinese man, what's his nationality? He's gonna say he's Chinese. And why? Because he comes from China. The Russian man gonna tell you he's Russian because he comes from Russia. German man gonna say he's German because he comes from Germany. But when I ask a black man where he come from, he comes from the entire landmass of Africa that can fit out America in it 50 times, and it speaks over 1,500 languages. Oh, I'm an African American. But if I ask an actual African where he come from, he's gonna say I'm from Nigeria, I'm from Ethiopia, I'm from Libya, right? He's gonna tell you exactly where he's from. We're the only people who don't know where the hell we come from. I'm black. I can't get on a plane, train, bus, or car and go to the country black because it don't exist. I can't go to Africa, America. That's two continents in two different directions. Can you be born at the University of Illinois and Rush Hospital at the same time? So how the hell can you come from two different land masses at the same time?
That's right.
Furthermore, the land is named after the person that conquered it. Okay? In the Second Punic Wars, you had a man by the name of Leo Cypricos Africanus who conquered that land from our Israelite brother Hannibal Barca. And he named that land Africa after himself. When you come to America, it's named after an Italian map maker, a stenographer by the name of Amerigo Vespucci. Can you come from two white men? Of course not. So how can I be an African American? The Lord said that in the generational curses found in Deuteronomy 28, that we would be called by proverbs and bywords. Okay? Words that were not our God-given nationality. Then they show you, and in all his pride, he make movies like 12 Years a Slave, Roots, right? All these movies showing you how he conquered our people and stripped us down to the bone, right? Willie Lynch letters, okay? Telling our people and telling his people exactly how to make good slaves out of us. All of that's in the book.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembered.
No, the name of African American.
That the name of Israel may be no more remembered.
The name of black.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Negro.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Mexican.
That the name of Israel shall be no more in remembrance.
Puerto Rican, Cuban, Dominican, Republican, Haitian.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Chilean, Argentinian, West Indian.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
Let's find out who this group of... We already got it. It's right here. Here go our playbook right here, King. This is our playbook. It's all in here. And the reason why
I don't feel like we should use that book right there, though.
Why not? When the Lord told us to.
Speak though.
Huh?
Speak.
No,
Why not?
Because you know it could be like some, like it's all type of misleading and like out here. So you know it
You know why you have that
could be-
misconception?
You know what I'm
Because
saying?
one, you haven't read it for yourself.
Right.
For two, you're going off of what somebody else has planted a seed in you to make you
Going
believe
off
and
what's in
think
your
that.
heart.
Yeah,
You
that's,
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm
What do the Bible say going about your heart? The heart is desperately wicked and deceitful above all things. And look where you pointed at when you said your heart. You pointed to your chest. That's a muscle. That don't do nothing but pump blood through your heart. Ain't no thoughts coming from there. So what our people misunderstand when the Bible speaks about God knowing your heart, the heart in the Bible represents your mind, the seat of your bowels. This is where your thought process comes from. Not this. This is what the Christianity, they talk about the heart because they think it's attached to emotional feelings. God is not an emotional man like that. He deals with austere men. He don't do that or effeminate energy.
That's right. Bring it out. Huh?
Somebody else told us all of this stuff about the Bible that got us thinking this way when we were this little, and granny them ushered our ass into the church, right? And we can't fault them because their mothers and mothers and mothers had to teach that, or Esau, the white man, would have killed the whole damn family and none of us would be standing here right now.
Right.
So they had to go along in order to get along. The problem is before they can break that cycle, they all died off, and the truth about what this book stood for us died with them.
Right.
They were able to take this book away from us then, manipulate it by making multiple translations of it that took certain things out of this book that if you happened to pick it up and read it, you wouldn't be able to connect the dots.
Right.
Right? We do diligent search, diligent inquisition, all right? We do comparative text, archaeological, historical, biblical, and sometimes geographical research to sync this Bible up with real life. Since you've been studying here, some of the stuff came out of your mouth. We showed it right here in the book.
Right.
You didn't write this book. This book was written over 3,000 years ago.
King
So
King James.
he translated it.
Right.
He basically, this book was written in Hebrew, Greek, and Latin. He translated it into English so that we will be able to understand this book in these days because he knew the slaveries that we were getting ready to go through by the hands of the people. The Spanish people, the Spaniards, Cortez, Herman, them in the 1400s conquered the so-called Mexicans, all right, in the Spanish revolts. Then you had...
Did you ever study Muslim?
Yeah, we deal with that too.
You study that?
We deal with that too. The problem is that that's an Arabian religion.
Right.
The Bible doesn't deal with religion. The Bible deals with nationality, bloodline, and heritage.
Right.
We've been led to believe through the Christianity system that the Bible deals with religion. Nowhere in this Bible does it talks about religion. It only talks about law, statutes, and commandments. Heritage. Right? Finish that up, and then I'm gonna get your precept.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembered. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom.
Edom is the biblical nationality for the white man.
And the Ishmaelites.
Arabs.
Of Moab.
Chinese man.
And the Hagareans.
Africans.
Jabal.
More Africans.
And Ammon.
Japanese.
And Amalek.
The so-called Jewish man.
The Philistines.
Right? The Palestinians.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
More Africans.
Assur.
Which is Assyrians.
Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot.
Right? They've destroyed us, man. And it says Salah. That's a musical connotation word, a note that means pause. Think about that. And now you look around your entire community and you see them running your shit. Excuse my language. We don't control or own anything in our community. These people said, let's come together and destroy them from knowing who they are. But watch this. Give me that phone, sis.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
God said that his people were destroyed for lack of knowledge. What knowledge did they lack? They did not know that this book was theirs. They did not know that these people on this chart were all their brothers and sisters. They did not know that the blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians were God's chosen people, the only people he gave his laws, statutes, and commandments to, the only people according to the Bible that he say he loved. Right. Although Christianity tells you that God loves everybody, I got $1,000 in my pocket right now for anybody that can walk up here right now, show me book, chapter, verse, verbatim, line for line, where it says God loves everybody, and I'll wait.
Right.
Because you can't prove it, because it ain't in there. Because he never said he loves everybody. I can show you where he told you he hates some people in there, but they told you that God didn't hate too, didn't
they? They say God gave his son.
John 3:16.
God gave his only begotten son for everybody's sin. Yeah.
But you know what? World in that context has two meanings. You have two different types of world. You have an ethnos world, which is your ethnic background, your ethnicity, and then you have a world meaning cosmos, like stars, moons, world. We just went through that. That's how this whole lesson started, with me breaking down John 3:16, causing people giving the understanding that when he's speaking about worlds, he's not talking about this world as a whole. He's talking about the world of the Israelites, because there's 12 nations on this earth, and 18 nations of people on this earth, and each one of those nations are a world in themselves. Why? Because they all speak different languages, different cultures, different heritage, all right? And most of those nations, they worship multiple gods. But the Israelites they had a monotheism system, where they only believed in one God.
That's right.
Now you have to ask yourself, how do 17 nations of people, who some of them got a God for every day of the year, why are y'all taking the Israelites only one God? What is it about this one God that they got that y'all denounce y'all 365 gods to take their God? And not so much to take him, to make them think that he's not their God anymore.
Right.
That should make you think. But you know what? We just read in Psalms 83 why. Because God said that he hates the white man. He told you in Zephaniah that he was going to kill the African man.
It be like, I be confused a little bit. Like, I believe in God. You know, my granny and them, they told me, but it be like something that, it be like a 50, 60, 40 thing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You know why, King? Because all of that you getting and feeling is coming from someone else. You have to read for yourself. Whatever percentage of belief you got in the Lord, pour that into reading the book for yourself, King. And let the Lord start dealing with you and talk to you. He'll start to open your mind up and give you the understanding. And now you dealing, it ain't by coincidence that he had you, something that I said resonated with you. And it brought you over here to build.
You know what I'm saying? I'm for this type of shit, you know what I'm saying? Cause it ain't happening, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucker ain't nobody even trying to, like you don't hear about no Malcolm X, Martin Luther King these days, you feel me? You don't hear, you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody need to. I just feel like, and my testimony.
No, you finished that. Get Deuteronomy 28:68 too.
Like my testimony, I've been through a lot. So
watch this, King, because I want to.
My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge.
You see that? Our people reject the knowledge. It ain't that the knowledge is not here. Our people don't even want to look at it.
Right.
Why? Not because they read something in there that didn't sound right to them, because someone else planted a seed of doubt in their head. So you reject the word of God. What else?
I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children.
See that? Our children are dying at alarming rates. Sins can be passed on. The sins of the fathers and mothers can be passed down to their children. So the Lord said, even if it's not enough for you to respect me and my word enough that you don't care what I do to you, I'll pass that punishment down to your children. So our children out here being kidnapped, raped, molested, slaughtered, right? Left and right.
Yeah, that's why I be trying to figure out, damn, why God be letting all this bullshit be happening like this?
Punishment,
shit,
King.
Some real shit.
Get
Now I'm saying, it
30,
don't even
30
be
and
like,
19.
you say punishment, right? Look, King, I'm with what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. But you be having some stuff that be happening out here that's wrong, you know what I'm saying, that ain't right, you feel me?
Hey,
like,
you know what though? You'll read some way worse of stuff in this book.
Right.
It's what we see on this earth, it's way worse of stuff going on in this Bible, King. God is not playing. And if our people read this book and seen the worst stuff that's going on in this book, what you see before your eyes wouldn't bust a sweat with you. You would be like, that's judgment.
Right.
Because I know what he doing to some niggas in here. So to see what he doing to niggas out here, you would be like, yeah, that ain't nothing. Look at what he did to them and why he did what he did to them in here. Then, when you see punishment exacting itself out here, you will know exactly why. Because the Lord punishes those who move against his law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
You got children, you lay down rules and regulations to govern your house that apply only to your children.
Right.
If your children, friends come over to the house, you ain't gonna stump a mud hole in your kids' friends. You're gonna get down on your kids because this your house. I told you what to do. I laid the rules down with you. You allowed your friends to come in my house and disrespect my rules.
Right.
God is the same way. He made it loud and clear that the children of Israel were his children, and he only gave his laws, statutes, and commandments to them. So that means all of these other races, they can do whatever profane, wicked acts they want. God don't give a damn about them. He hate them. And all they ass going in the chains when Yahweh shall return. All right, hold that thought, and I'm gonna show you something with that thought you just said. All right, let me run through these, and then remember what you just said. All right, you said it seemed like good people get taken out of here, right? I'm gonna show you something.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
No, the white man, Chinese man, African man, East Indian man.
O children of Israel.
Children of Israel. Blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians.
Right. Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
Here go the whole family that he brought out of Egypt. Out of
Saying,
slavery.
you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Iniquity is sins. You can't commit a sin or a crime where there's no law against it. So seeing that he only gave his laws to the Israelites are the only ones that can commit sin. When you read 1 John 3 and 4, it tells you that sin is the transgression of God's law, the breaking of his law. So if he never gave his law to them, they can't break his law. But you can, because they were given to you. So when you break his law, he punishes you. You see that?
Right.
What was you holding? Watch this. Bring it out. Now watch this.
19.
Yeah. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 19.
Bring it out.
I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
Now we just read where he said because we reject knowledge that he was going to forget us and our children, right? He just told us in Deuteronomy that he set before us blessings and curses, life and death. And then he said, choose life, that you and your seed may live. Choose to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and y'all will live. Choose the curses and break the laws, your ass will die. Right? Now watch this.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 57 and verse 1.
out.
The righteous perishes.
You heard that? Because you said good people be leaving, right? Now watch what he got to say about good people that die.
The righteous perishes, and no man lay it to heart.
So good people die and nobody take it into consideration why they died. You just see the death as a bad thing because your emotional connection to them got you feeling that loss and that hurt. But watch this.
And merciful men are taken away, none considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come.
Right? Because Amos 5 and I think it's 18,
Right.
it says, what is the day of the Lord to you? Because when the Lord returns, it's going to be wrath and destruction. He said righteous people get killed. Good people get killed because God getting ready to put boot to ass around here and he's giving them a mercy. They so good in his eyes, if you think they good, the Lord, he sees better, way more than you see. So he gave them a mercy like, yeah, I'm going to take them right now. Because what I'm going to do to the rest of their ass, I don't even want to scar him with that. I don't want to scar her with the vision of what I'm finna do to these people. And we so wrapped up in them gone that you forget that you still live in that community where the gun violence going down at. You still living in the community where the police killing them at. You still struggling, right?
Yeah, I'm in the community. It's so wicked now, like, real life, like I guess get into it with my little brother. You know, it's like your own family, like you get into it, like that shit
Hey, the Lord said he came to cause variance, to set man at variance against their family members. Brothers against brothers, sisters against sisters, mothers against husbands.
Because my little brother, his mentality, right, this how we fall out. He tell me he gonna tell somebody, he done told somebody to pop me or some shit. You gonna do what? Like, you don't bear arms on your, you don't bear arms. That's something you don't do, you feel me?
Watch this,
That be
King.
like they first look, a lot of these little young, they mentality messed up. They don't know nothing about a fight or something.
Now
going
watch
on.
this.
First thing they doing is
They run to the sword. Now watch this though.
Deuteronomy, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 54.
Bring it out.
So that man that is tender among you.
Now you and your brother growing up together, y'all had a tender relationship. Y'all loved each other. Y'all cared for each other, right? Don't judge it off of now. Think back when y'all were young, before the gang life, the gun life, when we was just in the
brother.
crib.
Make sure he's straight, man.
Now watch
Look,
this.
Make sure my little brother's straight out.
Now watch this. The man that was tender amongst you, right?
And very delicate. His eyes shall be evil towards his brother and towards the wife of his bosom.
That's black on black crime, man. Right? His eyes shall be evil towards his brother. This is all in the Bible. You can't make this up, King. Right? Look, you've been holding for a
That's
minute,
real
King.
life
You still
stuff.
got him?
That's
Pull him up.
going on today.
Come on. Watch this though, King. Come on.
Hey, I don't mean to cut y'all short.
No, King,
I gotta be in at 8, I gotta bend on
Yeah,
my-
but you go ahead, because we don't need Esau trying to do you dirty, King. No doubt, King. Hey, brother, you got that flyer, right?
I'm gonna demonstrate with y'all.
You got the flyer.
Yeah.
Go to the YouTube channel, King. Subscribe, hit the bell. Go to the Facebook, follow. So when we live on Facebook right now. So when you know what I'm saying, you can follow us. There's plenty of videos on there to help edify you. You got the number. Call that number. Any questions, King, we can keep on building. Lord willing, man, we get you on this side. You just coming home, the last thing you need to do is just have too much free time out here with this goofy shit. You already recognize that it's wicked as hell. The Lord brought you among some righteous brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? We gonna help build you up
We
and
can
keep you
spread
moving
this
forward in
word,
the positive.
let our people know what's next.
That's what we about, brother.
That's right, King.
That's what we about, King. You
Alright,
got that
bless
info,
that,
man.
bless that.
You be
Y'all
safe
stay
out here and stay
focused.
circumspect, King.
Yeah.
No
Y'all
doubt.
stay
Stay focused.
focused.
That's right.
All right, King, man.
We love you, brother.
Man, you can't be safe.
Hey, hit that number, man, on that flyer.